Hello and welcome home, my name is Anov, and today we're going to continue on in the Monster Hunter World Beta. We're going to try and do the second quest. Hopefully it doesn't burn through as quickly as the first one. But I guess that's what happens when you take one of the highest DPS weapons in the game. We're going to spawn at Central Camp 6 this time. And yeah, I'm just going to leave the same stuff. So we'll see how fast we kill this boss. In multiplayer with my friends, we can slam down this boss in about 4 minutes. But I don't know how much it multiplies their health by. It seems like it's a lot because we've never killed that first boss that quickly. So we'll see if I slaughter him. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. It's only a little bit left. Here we go. Alright, I don't need to take any of the extra stuff, because I'm sure we'll be fine. And let's go to one of the usual places where the monster spawns. Let's go for speedrun strats, and use some damage boosting powder once we get over there. Man, the area design in these games are just fucking fantastic. Not in these games, in this game is fantastic. They've never looked this good before. Considering it's been on like the DS and 3DS and PSP for much of its lifespan, it's really a jarring transition to move over to such high graphics on a current gen console. Okay, so he's not in this area. This is one of the areas he can spawn in. Another interesting thing to note is that on each of these maps, there's multiple monsters there. I'm only fighting the main ones. I mentioned the Rathalos in the last video. He is significantly harder than the monster that we just fought. And maybe if I have some time before the demo ends, I'll go, oh, okay, there's the monster. I'll go back and fight the harder monsters instead of the ones that you're supposed to kill. But for now, I'm just gonna stick to these guys. I don't know if I need to bother trying to track him anymore now that I see him. He's probably not running away from me. Oh, you bastard. Don't stick with me about it. I feel like this is one of the more creative monsters that they've had. They added this one in Monster Hunter 3. Oh, awesome, I mounted him. This boss covers himself in mud, and the mud basically becomes artificial armor. And you have to break the mud off of him if you want to deal damage. This guy really wants me off of him. Let's see what is up with this camera. Fuck your tail, mate. He has nobody else to pay attention to but me. He's just diverting all of his effort to try and take me off. Ah, it's so satisfying. I fucking love the switch axe so much. Ah, no. I didn't get to finish my Doom combo. Ah, God damn it. Drop me before the explosion, which is where most of the damage comes from. Come on, dickhead, let's do this. Ah, mustard. Can't grapple onto him. No, that's not something I can climb. Ah, he is hightailing it, but it's not gonna work. I've got a bead on your sense. I've sniffed enough of your footprints to know exactly where you're gonna go. I wonder if it's gonna let me mount him again if I do a sliding jump slash thing. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I forgot to use this. Here we go. Now it's really time to kill him. Oh, you tool. How dare you hurt me? Build up my flame charge and ideally not die. Stop roaring. Oh, you don't have any mud to shake off? Asshole. That is not where I grabbed onto, but I will take it. So in the top left on the switch axe, you can see that purple bar that's filling up right now. That's how long I can keep it in sword mode. Because you can't keep it in sword mode infinitely. And now that it's in sword mode, you see that it's flashing, and that means that it's still heated up. And I can use it to discharge the element inside of it. I think now, if I pull the sword back out, it might not be charged up anymore. And what you want to do with the switch axe is, yeah, it's going to lose its charge here in a moment. But with the switch axe, you want to use it in the axe form until the sword is ready to be used. And then once the sword's ready to use, you can whip it out and start building up an elemental charge inside of it by just attacking it. So now I have the sword fully charged, and now I can discharge the element inside of it. Catch him. I got him. Limp away, you asshole. You're not going to make it very far. Oh, yeah, and he's on the ground. Whoa, that fucking launched me. Run. Another thing that's interesting to note is that enemies have armored parts of their bodies that, like this guy's head, that your weapon will deflect off of if it's not sharp enough. The sharpness is the green sword icon above the switch axe icon in the top left. And oh, come on, I can do it. Ah, I didn't catch him, or I caught him, but I didn't get the mount him. But if your weapon's sharpness goes down too far, it will start bouncing off different parts of the enemy's body. The switch axe in sword mode apparently always has maximum sharpness and goes straight through enemies' armored points, which is nice. They still have reduced damage because that's their most armored points, but your weapon will never bounce off of it and doesn't get reduced damage as a result of being bounced off of those parts of the body. So this weapon's just, it's a lot of fun to use. I wouldn't say it's one of the best weapons. It's one of the highest DPS, but that doesn't mean best. It's obviously very cumbersome to use. Fucking climb up. Oh. This game. No! I wanted to jump on top of him. Cool. Oh man, he's just beating me around. Let's load up the paralysis knives. A lot of this game is using the tools you have to your advantage. Your weapon isn't the only thing you have to fight the enemies with. You get bombs, knives, and he is murdered. Different powders to give you different buffs, items to sharpen your weapons. There's just a lot of stuff at your disposal. And in higher monsters, when you go to fight much stronger monsters, you're going to have to go in with certain equipment that you're ready for. Like if the monster burrows underground, you can throw sonic bombs and they will force the monster out of the ground. If a monster charges a lot or does ranged attacks, you can throw flashbangs to make it blind for a certain amount of time and it won't be able to hit you as accurately. There's just a lot of items to use at your disposal that isn't just pure damage related. So most of this game comes from experience matched with skill, which I really, really like about it. So, alright, that was the second boss, the Barroth. And in the next one, we're going to fight the hardest boss that you're required to kill in the DLC. He's probably the third hardest actual boss in... Not DLC, what am I saying? He's the third hardest boss in the beta, but he's the hardest one that you are required to beat as a mission for the beta. So next time we're going to fight him. Alright, so I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I'll see you all next time.